Welcome back, everybody, to our sweat series, or Sweating It Out with You. We had a lot of growth today. We did a lot of really good interviews. I'm really proud of everybody. I'm proud of a lot of the stuff that I did too, but there's always room for improvement. So, Pamela, want to kick us off?
Yeah, so I had a really big interview today. It was the one that I was looking forward to most this week, but also kind of the most nervous about. They witnessed me kind of panicking about it, but when she and I sat down, she looks at me and she was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know I don't do this and I'm really nervous." And I looked at her and I was like, "I'm nervous too, we can be nervous together." But I kind of wish that I had taken that opportunity to say, lean into this and we can grow together, as opposed to, "Hey, I'm nervous, you're nervous, let's do this." It ended up being a really sweet moment and a sweet interview, but I wish I had just kind of leaned into her vulnerability instead of making it about both of us, if that makes sense.
Almost like you could carry each other.
Yeah, I wish that it had been more of just a vulnerable, well, let's do this together, as opposed to, we're both nervous, let's do it, you know, and it was awesome overall, but there was just that chance to be a little bit more vulnerable and take it to a different level.
Were you surprised that this person in particular, who's like an executive, you know what I mean, were you surprised that they said they were nervous?
It caught me really off guard, yes, because she is quite the professional and she really was taking a leap on herself and taking a leap on GALvanize by sitting down and doing this interview with me. So it meant a lot to me and I could really feel the weight of it, and just watching her be nervous and feeling my nerves, I think it made it all the more beautiful, but it also was shocking to see that even people in the highest of places could also be just as nervous as us sitting behind the camera. Speaking about my vulnerabilities, Brittany, I saw today that there was kind of a moment for you that you felt like you grew from. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I think it was a really nice moment of reflection after one of our interviews where there was a person that was in such a stage of transition in their life and going through some adversity, and it was kind of the perfect person that needed our just classic traditional grassroots galvanizing, and I was stuck in my head and I didn't get out what I wanted to get out of them, and I think I was just overthinking it instead of just going back to the basics of galvanizing. I was trying to keep to my questions when we should have jumped into the galvanizing. So I really appreciated Laura jumping in and redirecting it a little bit, giving us a little moment to see what she was seeing, and we ended up getting the best of the whole interview in that last little bit. I thought it was nice that Laura felt comfortable jumping in at the end, because like just in being Laura and witnessing how the interview was going, she was like, I know what is gonna get him to go there, so that she went at the end and was like, I think like she just took us aside and gave me the question to then give him that extra little push, and I wish we'd thought of that ourselves. We were kind of going in a different direction, but that was definitely the right one.
Well, I mean, that kind of goes into with the hug and a push. There was your push and she gave you your hug after the fact, and so that kind of just full circle moment on that one, but definitely as a learning opportunity.
And I think that we had been trying to give a hug instead of giving our guests the push. So there was lots of hugging and pushing.
Give and take. I think I don't really like use my notebook a lot in interviews, and there was one interview where I definitely looked down at it a couple times. So I just walked away, like I felt like I was maybe more in my head, because it pushed me a little more out of my comfort zone. But I think I usually hold on to things when I get like a little upset about it. So I think I was able to shake it off and go into the next one and have a good interview. So that was a good learning lesson for me, because that's not something that I do often, is shake it off. So, yay!
And especially with Radio Row, we have so many interviews back to back, you can't afford to be too in your head about one that you just did when you have another great one coming up.
Definitely. I think that's such a learning lesson here. Just like, you can't dwell on the last interview, you have to be present in the next.
And I think Drew over there in the corner, you had a really good growing moment too.
You did.
Granted, like, that's how Radio Row is too. Like, you might find out somebody later, but that's somebody that I did know about for a couple of days. So at the end of the day, it worked out, but I definitely like need to be better about being more prepared.
I think it's something we all kind of are leaning into this week, is there's some where it's the preparedness is everything, but sometimes you get in your head, and I know that some of my best interviews were the ones I've just jumped straight into, where my other ones that I've been super prepared for have also been great. It's just that balance of what's too much research, what's not enough, and how do you find that middle line between the two, especially when you're taking reps and being on the fly all day.
Yeah.
That's kind of the push this week. Like, you can't really be prepared for some of these.
You've got to find the stuff to be prepared as quick as possible and just run with it.
Some stuff just isn't Googleable, like they've never said it before, and then you're in an interview and then bam, it's like, oh, that was like, I gotta lean into that now, I had no idea, so.
I think that's something that Laura said in our little debrief today, though, that you did really well. She kind of challenged you to have one really, really solid question to open, and then just kind of go with where the interview took you, and she said you did it really well.
This was, yeah, it was a really good day all around. While these were all like growing moments, I really think that like we all had a really, really good day. Everybody had really good interviews. I'm really proud of everybody.
I think I can feel the growth in the room with all of us, so I hope that you guys are feeling the growth too as we're kind of sharing these experiences with you, and really hope that you feel the experiences as you're in the room with us.
I think that all of the GALvanize community will really see the growth from our Monday, Tuesday interviews to Wednesday and on, because I feel like today all of us had a different kind of comfort level that comes from, I mean, talking to each other, having really awesome questions, but also just getting into the rhythm of it a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.